So today, if you have blocks, you'll probably need them at some point, or something to support yourself, maybe a strap, because we are going to do some hamstring stretches. You could have a towel, maybe a bigger towel than a hand towel, depending upon your reach. For that, you'll want a blanket, a couple towels maybe. If you don't have a bolster, you definitely want a couple towels, and then maybe one firm blanket that you could make into something that looks like a bolster. So I'm going to have all my goodies over here. So if you need to grab something, go ahead and grab something. That's what a bolster looks like if you haven't taken the class before. So I'm going to use a combination of my non-traditional yoga props and traditional yoga props. Okay, so let's begin. We'll start by standing up, just at the front of your mat or wherever so you can see. Standing in Tadasana, so ready pose. So here in Tadasana, take your feet about hips distance apart. Give a slight bend in your knees so that you have some mobility here in your pose. Draw your belly button in, your tailbone will drop down. Arms out to the side, palms forward. So this is anatomical neutral. Right, if you think about Da Vinci's The Vitruvian Man, see this image, right? Palms forward. Now press down into your feet, squeeze your leg muscles in, draw the belly in, see that you grow a little bit taller, and then lift the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. And give a little squeeze of your shoulder blades in. So just standing here in neutral, body in alignment. So we're talking our ear over the shoulder, over the hip, over the knee, over the ankle. And when the body's aligned like this, like in perfect symmetry, it takes the pressure off of, well, everything, right? Everything is balanced. But if we start to pitch forward, we have too much bend in our knee, or we're too hyperextended, we start to bring pressure into the middle back to support us. Right? So if we can stand up nice and tall, upper arm bones back, like our moms always told us, right? They always said sit up straight, no slouching. And this is a good reminder. Standing tall. Nice breath in through your nose. Long breath out through your nose. Take 3 more like that. Your gaze is just straight ahead. One more breath in. And one more breath out. Great, now keep your feet, your hips, everything else where they are, and just stand. I'm gonna move back so that you can see. My room is only so big. So hands are straight up overhead. So palms are gonna face one another. And draw your shoulder blades down your back. Again, check in with your feet, your knees, your belly. You're trying to squeeze your shoulder blades together here, but lengthen up through the whole body. So the crown of your head lifts towards the ceiling. And we'll stay here for a few breaths. Just palms are mirroring each other. And make sure you spread your fingers wide, right, so that there's action in your hands. Nice breath in through your nose. Breathe out through your nose. And your gaze is just simply forward, imagining that you're looking at the horizon. The land meets the air, meets the sky. A few more breaths here. Now interlace your fingers. I'm going to bring my hands down just so you can see. Interlace the fingers, turn the palms forward, and then lift your arms up overhead. Good. Slight bend in your knees. And as you press the palms up, pull your shoulder blades down so that there's a stretch in the arm happening. A few more breaths here. One more breath in. And then exhale, slowly release your arms and then roll your shoulders. And we'll come to the next portion. So we're going to do half sun salutations here. So I'll back up so you can see. So feet here are hips distance apart. You're still coming into that Tadasana pose, right? With the alignment of your body, trying to keep the ear over the shoulder, hip, knee, all that. Then as you flow, inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Draw your belly button in and up and let your head drop. Inhale, halfway lift. Pull your chest forward, shoulders back. Still keeping Tadasana in the upper spine. Exhale, fold. Less pressure on your mid-back. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. Do that 3 times. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Draw your belly in. Let your head drop. Inhale, halfway lift, pull your chest forward, shoulders back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand, reach up. Exhale, hands to your heart center. One more time. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, pull your chest forward, squeeze your shoulder blades in. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand, reach all the way up. And then bring your hands to your heart center. Good. So we're just warming up the body for the next pose, which is extended side angle. So for our first extended side angle of the day, you might want some support. So whether it's a block, maybe a small stool. I tend to have my foam roller in the room now with me, so that's actually a really nice support. So I want you to take your right foot forward, left foot back. So the left foot is going to be parallel with the back edge of your mat, and then bend into your front knee 90 degrees. And you want to stack your knee over your ankle. Take your block here in front of your foot, and then you can do 2 things. You can take your hand down onto the block and turn your chest to the side, and then maybe up a little bit, right, if that's available in your spine this morning. And then take your left arm up over your head. So here we're getting a little rotation in the spine, and we'll do a few twists in this sequence. Twists are really good for your back, for your spine, right? As long as you don't have any mechanical restrictions in your spine. Right? If you have any fusions or things like that, you're not going to be able to twist, but we can do the best we can here. Alright, so right arm is down, and I want you to really pull the right shoulder back, so no slumping forward here. Keep that pull back. Nice alignment. Left arm reaches up over your head towards the front of the room. So here you're getting a nice side body stretch, especially if you push into the outer edge of your back foot and then reach your fingertips forward. Good. Stay here for 3, 2, 1. Come up. And then straighten the front leg. Just take a big step forward and then go to the other side. So now your left foot's forward, right foot is back. Right foot's parallel to the back edge of your mat. Take your block down, right, to the inside of your left foot. And then take your fingertips down to your block. You could come to the elbow if you want that, if you don't have a taller support. So maybe a taller support here looks like this. Taller the support, the more space you have in your upper body to turn. So here we go. Pressing into the outer edge of my back foot. I'm going to take the right arm up overhead and reach to the front of the room. Now I press my fingertips down into the block and turn my chest to the side. As I turn the chest to the side, it's taking everything with it. So I want to make sure that I stay solid in my front leg. Pull this outer hip back and turn your chest up. Top arm reaches forward, right? Not up towards the ceiling, but forward. And breathe here. And with your exhales, try to slowly turn your whole torso up towards the ceiling. Now let's stay here for 3, 2, 1. Come all the way up. And then take a big, slow step forward. And we'll go into our next pose. We're just gonna go right into downward facing dog. So just come onto your hands and knees for a moment. I'll actually do a couple cat cows so we can transition. As you inhale, pull your chest forward, lift your sits bones up. Exhale, round your spine, tuck your chin to your chest. 2 more, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. 1 more, inhale. Exhale. And then let's come to a neutral spine. Going into down dog. So separate your fingers, like spread your fingers really wide apart, lift your hips, and then push your chest back towards your thighs. Now if this doesn't feel great this morning, you can just come onto your shins, right? And then sit back. Curl, or toes are curled under if you're taking this option with the shins down. So it's a little more active, kind of like an active child's pose. We're gonna stay in our downward facing dog for a count of 10. Pull your shoulder blades down your back. 9, 8, draw your belly button in. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And bring your knees down. Good. And now step your right foot forward. Your left knee will be down. We'll come into a half camel and take it easy on your half camel. Right? I'm not going, for the gusto here. Take your right hand to the right thigh and lift your left arm up. Now, if you need some support underneath your bottom knee, put a blanket under there. Draw your belly in and up and get a really nice tall spine. Lift your collarbones up towards the ceiling. Squeeze your shoulder blades down your back. We'll take 5 breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, draw your belly button in. Inhale, 3. Exhale. Inhale, 4. Keep your legs strong. Exhale. Inhale, 5. Exhale, come forward. Come into a downward facing dog to transition. So you can take this really slow, right? Come onto your knees first, and then lift and push back. And then take your right foot forward. Oh, no, left foot forward. Sorry. Okay, left foot forward. So knee stacks over your ankle, left hand to the left leg. Pull your belly in and up. As you inhale, reach your right arm up and go back as you exhale. So it doesn't have to be huge, right? Maybe just a little lift of the collarbones, squeeze your shoulder blades in and down, and that's all you need to do. Make sure the legs are strong, you're really pushing down into your feet. And we'll stay here for 5 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, draw your shoulder blades down. Inhale, lift. Exhale. 2 more, inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale, lift. Exhale, go back a little bit more. And then come forward. Good, right? All right, so let's come onto our seat. And if you want a little support here, you can take your blanket, whether it's a traditional yoga blanket or something else, underneath your legs. So coming into a seated twist. So here's part of our twisting that I said was coming up. Take your right foot in and then grab onto your shin. Sit up nice and tall on your spine. Good. And then wrap your left arm around your right shin, and then take your right hand back behind you. So you don't have to go too far into the twist. Just play with it. Keep your chin in line with your sternum today. And as you exhale, draw your belly in, pull your right shoulder back, and then you just explore the twist. When you inhale, you'll probably come forward a little bit. As you exhale, draw the belly in, pull your right shoulder blade tighter into the body. You'll go a little bit further into your twist every time. Take a few more here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Squeeze in the belly, squeeze the shoulder blades in together, sit up tall, and then come forward. Switch sides. Right foot forward, left foot in. Grab onto your shin to start so that you make sure you have a nice tall spine going into your twist. Wrap your right arm around the left shin, left hand goes behind you. Now notice if we start to slump forward, we're going to put a lot of pressure in our middle back area here, which is what we're trying to help out. So lift your collarbones up. Maybe you don't hold on as tightly to your leg. So when you inhale, lift up. Exhale, draw your belly button in. Try to keep your chin, fairly in line with your sternum so we're not twisting in the neck. Right? We're really concentrating on the mid back here. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, twist. Draw your belly in, and then pull your left shoulder back. Good. Stay tall, breathe in. You might come forward some. Exhale, draw your belly in. So I'm just working on staying really tall in my spine and flowing with my breath. I'm using my exhale to deepen, my inhale to open up and lengthen up. One more breath here. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, draw your belly in. Left shoulder, pull it back. And then we'll hold it here again, sit up tall. And then come forward. Good. Take your legs forward, bounce them out. And then we're just coming into Dandasana, which is staff pose. So legs are out in front of you, feet are pulled back, hands by your side. And now if you wanted, you could take blocks by your hands to give yourself a little bit of lift. But they're not necessary. So I'm just going to use the blocks as an example. Pull your toes back towards your shin, draw your belly button in, give a little bend in your knees so you're not locking them out. Even here, right? When we're standing up, I asked you to take a little bend in your knees. Same thing here. Squeeze your leg muscles, sit up nice and tall, and your gaze is forward. Pull your upper arm bones back by squeezing your shoulder blades in towards the spine. Working into our middle back here. Keep drawing your belly button in. Think about a corset, right? There's a corset around your ribs. You're squeezing in and trying to lift up. And we'll stay in Dandasana for a count of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Do a little tiny forward fold. And then come up. Good. So now we'll come into what you you might know of more as the restorative poses. Coming into supported child's pose. So if you have a bolster, you'll take the bolster just a little bit past your knees, come into child's pose legs. So big toes touching, knees wide, and then you just lay down on your bolster. Hands can be anywhere, right? If it's better for them to be on the support, you can. It can be by your side. It could be behind you. Just see whatever feels good for you today. You don't have a bolster, but you do have a blanket. Take your blanket, fold it up. If you have a pillow, you can use a pillow. I didn't bring my pillow in with me today, so I'm gonna stack my towels. Maybe give myself a little bit more support. And this time I'm gonna go under. Good, and then we'll just stay here. Coming into your child's pose, supported. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Let it all go. And allow your chest and your torso to be heavy so that they're just sinking right into the support. And if it's uncomfortable in your hips, you're going to have to build up your pose. So maybe another blanket. Here I'm using another bolster just because that's closest to me in the blankets. Let's take about 5 more breaths with your head turned to this side. And they don't have to be big, deep breaths, just nice, soft breathing here. And then turn your head to the other side. And allow yourself to sink back into the support. Let your whole body be heavy here and think about just a melting happening. Feel the muscles around your middle back soften and let go. And again, we'll take about 5 more breaths here with our head turned to this side. Nice and soft. Now slide your hands back. Draw your belly button in towards your spine and then push into your hands to sit up. So it's important to support yourself as you rise up out of the poses. So a lot of times I'll tell you to strengthen your legs and draw your belly button in. So when you draw the belly button in, you create that corset around your torso, and then you can lift up, and then your middle back is supported through the action. If you don't, and then you try to lift up, you're putting a lot of pressure on your lower back to do all the work. So I guess part of the theme of this is, use your core, your belly to bring you in and out of poses and walk yourself through life with that engaged. Okay, so now we're gonna come down onto our backs. And if you have a block, you'll want the block. Otherwise, you can take a towel rolled up to support yourself eventually. So take your block off to the side. And then have either a yoga strap or a towel, because we're gonna do some hamstring stretches. And if you can hang on to your toes, it's great. But if you can't, a strap will help you do that. So we're coming here, strap around the right foot. And so we're just doing a straight hamstring stretch here. So you want to get our heel in line with our knee, in line with the hip. So I don't have to go really far back here. I just want to keep this in nice alignment. I'm going to draw down on my strap and resist with my heel. Spread your toes. So here we're getting into our hamstrings, which is good for the whole body. And flex both feet. So you want this left leg, your supporting leg, to be just as active as your lifted leg. Now here I want you to deepen your breath. So inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose, press your heel up towards the ceiling. Pull your toes down towards your face. One more breath in. Exhale it out. And now you'll take the strap just into your right hands, and here's where you want your block or your other support. You'll take your right leg out to the side and support it with the block. All right, so this takes a little bit of finesse here just to get the block in a good position. So you want to have your leg in a spot that's sustainable for you. If I tried to take my foot back any further, especially on this leg for me, I have a little bursitis in my right hip at times. I can't lift the leg back as far. So here is good. I'm not in a 90-degree angle, but that's okay. And I'm hanging on with the strap. But if you don't have a strap or you don't have a long enough towel, that's fine. You just rest your leg on something. You don't have to hold on to it. But for me, I'm going to hold on to this. Draw your belly button in towards your spine and keep your left leg active. So we're getting a stretch here of the inner thigh muscles. When you want the outer edge of your right foot to be on your support, right? So not toes up, you want the foot flat like that. Press out actively through your right heel. Deepen your breath. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose. Let's take a few more breaths here. One more. Keep pressing out through your right heel. And then exhale, really draw your belly button in towards your spine. Lift your right leg up. And then lower it down. And just take a moment to notice how the right leg feels versus the left. My right side feels warm, kind of tingly, which is not a bad thing. And we'll take the left leg up. And so again, keeping my heel in as much alignment as I can with the knee and the hip. Strap is around your left foot, or you're hanging onto your toes. You have a towel, something here. Draw down on the strap and resist with your heel. Press your left heel up. Keep your right leg active. So squeeze your leg muscles in and breathe here. Concentrating into the hamstrings. The more you can press your heel up towards the ceiling and draw your toes towards your face, the more stretch you're taking through the whole leg. Especially when you pull your toes down, you travel that stretch a little bit more into your calf muscles than if you don't. All right, if I have my toes kind of lazy, pressing the heel up, I get it like more here, but once I get my toes involved, it travels up. So that's up to you. But I recommend trying to get the whole leg into it. Deepen your breath. Breathe in through your nose. Breathe out through your nose and draw down on the strap. Give a little bit more resistance. One more breath in. Long breath out. Now take the straps just into your left hand, and here you want your support out to the left. Take your left leg out. Find the right support with your block on the left leg. Sorry, get up here. Push the block a little bit more forward. All right, so it's just gotta play around with what's best. Right, this doesn't look smooth, right? But I don't care, it doesn't have to be smooth. So I'm gonna hang on to the strap with my left hand. So I'm pulling back a little bit so I can press my left heel out a little bit stronger. And then the outer edge of my left foot is on my block. Keep your belly pulled in, right? So you're nice and supported here through the whole body. Right leg active. And as you exhale, try to press your left heel out a little bit more. Every time, so that your inner thigh muscles, your adductor muscles get a nice stretch. I'm using the block as support so we don't have to think about balance or the right leg or right hip popping up. When we're supported underneath the left leg, we can really concentrate on getting the inner thigh muscles a good stretch. Take a few more breaths here. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose. Okay, one more breath in. One more breath out. And then inhale, bring your left leg all the way up and lower it down. Feel now the left side tingly. Shake the legs out. And then we'll come onto our side and come up to a seated pose so that we can go to the next. Okay. So now we'll come into another twist. But now I want you to take your feet on the floor, knees up, and then let your knees roll to the right side. You might want something underneath your right hip so that your left sits bone can drop down a little bit more, and you want to try to keep your hips more even with each other. So as we sit up nice and tall in the spine, I want you to breathe in, right, lengthen up, and then as you exhale, twist over to the left. So you're twisting out over your feet. Sit up as you inhale, and then with your exhale, draw your belly button in and up, taking it to your twist. Now, if this knee position doesn't work for you, you could come into a cross-legged position, so Sukhasana. You could go back to that knee in twist where your legs were in front of you. You pulled one foot in. We already did that, but it's okay. You can do it again. As you exhale, draw the left shoulder blade in. As you inhale, let yourself come forward a little bit, so tall on your spine. Exhale, belly in, left shoulder in. 2 more breaths. And then inhale, come forward. Take your feet on the floor, knees up. You're going to switch your towel or your support. Let your knees drop over to the left. And see how my right hip is hiked up and my left hip is down. If we take that support underneath the left hip, not that tall, it's gonna allow my right hip to drop down a little bit more and be just a little bit more even, right? So sit up nice and tall, breathe in, exhale, twisting over to your right side. Notice if you start to slump forward or you're sitting really far back, try to get yourself right in center. Use your exhale to twist. Inhale, maybe you come forward a little bit, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, pull in your belly, pull your right shoulder back, twist. Keep moving with your breath. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, twist. Let's just do a couple more here. And then bring your torso forward. Swing your legs forward. Come off of your support and then shake it out. Okay, so next, coming into Supta Baddha Konasana, or combined in this. So what you'll do is you'll take your bolster or a blanket, maybe 2 blankets wrapped on top of each other, or towels, and take the soles of your feet together, knees apart. And then you take the bolster, whatever support you have, right behind you. I use my towels here. So take the towels underneath your legs for support. Now you could just lay back at this point, but if you do have a yoga strap, go ahead and come into a bind. So you make a big loop in your strap, and then you take yourself through that. So arms through, torso through. You get the strap kind of low on your hips and make sure that the buckle is by your hip so that when it's time to come out of this, you have an easy exit. Take the front portion of the loop, put it underneath your feet, and then you'll tighten it up. So you don't have to have this to be effective in the pose, but it just kind of holds you in a little bit and pulls the tailbone forward some as you sit back. So you lay back here. Now squeeze your shoulder blades in no matter what support you're on, and then take your arms out to the side and let your arms be really heavy. And if this feels a little funky in your lower back, scoop your tailbone forward a little bit more. And there you go. So if you have the strap, then it's supporting your lower back. If you don't have the strap, you still are fine here, especially if you've got some support underneath the legs. And really our main focus is trying to open up through the chest and create a lift here through the rib cage so that the middle back can soften. But if your feet are together and you're feeling like my middle back is screaming, take your legs out, right? Let them go forward. find a way to let the torso be supported. As you inhale, feel the front of your body lift up. As you exhale, squeeze your shoulder blades in a little bit more. Let the body be heavy. So there's a letting go here. Inhale, feel your body lift up. Exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades in and then let go. And just keep going like that. Inhale, feel the body lift. Exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together and then be heavy. And then let your breath soften. And as your breath softens, I want you to concentrate on making your upper arm bones heavy, so that your elbows are heavy into the floor, so that the back of your arms and lower arms and your hands are heavy. And you bring that heaviness into the back of your head. Let your jaw relax. Feel the space just below your collarbones. Take an inhale. And exhale. Feel that space get wider apart from each other. So feel your pec minor and your pec major muscles just soften. Letting the front points of your shoulders drop back towards the floor. And now feel your rib cage. As you inhale, it comes forward. And as you exhale, feel the muscles around your rib cage melting off to the sides. Feel your pelvis heavy. As you inhale, feel your whole body lift up. And as you exhale, feel your legs, your knees bent, dropping more out to the sides, closer to the floor. And your feet are relaxed. Just take a few more breaths here. So now deepen your breath. And if you have yourself in a bind with the strap, go ahead and loosen up the strap and let your legs come forward. You can take yourself out of the strap. And then you'll make your way up. So here we're coming into supported bridge pose. So you'll either take your towel, fold it up like this, a blanket, you can use a block. I'm going to use a block. So come down onto your back, feet on the floor, knees up, and then lift your hips and take the block right underneath your pelvis. So here's where you can put your blanket or your towel, and just keep your feet on the floor, knees up. Lift your chest, squeeze your shoulder blades in towards one another and then down towards your hips, and then release, palms forward and up. And here we're just allowing the weight of our pelvis to be supported by the block. And you can deepen your breath here a little. Not super forceful, but just know that you're feeling that inhale and the lift of your chest. And then as you exhale, let the pelvis drop deeper onto the block. Inhale fully. And exhale, let your pelvis drop. Take a few more rounds of breath. And letting your pelvis drop into your block. We'll take one more breath here. And as you exhale, draw your belly button in towards your spine. Activate your legs and lift your hips. You move the block. Let your pelvis come back down to the floor. And just draw your belly in. Right, and you're probably wondering, like, why are we doing a pelvis, work for the mid-back? So when we were in Tadasana, we wanted to stand up tall, let the tailbone drop and belly in. So doing the supported bridge pose helps to get the body back into that action, right? So you're letting your pelvis drop into the block, your tailbone's gonna naturally move forward so that when you come to sit up, it's like, oh, I'm a little bit better alignment already, which will help our middle back. So now for our final pose, we'll come into just a supported Shavasana. So if you have a bolster, again, take that behind you. You could take a couple blankets, right, like this. Make a little homemade bolster. Either way, you're gonna bring your back up to the bolster, legs will come forward now, and then lay back. Take your arms out to the side. And here you're gonna squeeze your shoulder blades in, and then rest your whole torso weight into the bolster. And so here we're letting the chest open up, allowing all the muscles kind of just melt off to the sides, bringing some softening to the muscles around your spine. And encouraging that opening of the chest so we don't slump forward and put undue pressure on our middle back. Allow your breath to soften here. And let your whole body be heavy. you lay here in Shavasana, letting your body be heavy, I invite you to make a commitment today to noticing when your body is out of alignment, whether you're seated or standing. Can you notice if you're letting your shoulders slump forward? Can you notice if you're standing and locking your knees out? And bring yourself back into Tadasana, anatomical neutral. Where your ear is in alignment with your shoulder, with your hip, your knees, your ankles. And then once you notice it, come back into Tadasana. It doesn't matter how many times a day you notice, just bring yourself back. And then it becomes second nature. And imagine yourself standing up nice and tall. Eyes on the horizon, looking forward, moving forward, and strength and stability. Let's take 3 more breaths in your Shavasana. Start to deepen your breath. And now bring your feet on the floor, knees up, and you can wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Roll to whatever side you want to, but just stay in the fetal position for a couple breaths. And then press yourself up to a seated position. Keep your belly drawn in. Take your right hand over your heart and your left hand over the right, and bow your head. And thank you for sharing your practice today. Together we say, Namaste. Thank you. Thanks for watching. And if there's something that you would like me to focus on in a restorative class, let me know and we'll take care of it. Thank you guys. Have a great day.